All right, welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call powered by FanDuel Sportsbook. Rich Walsh along with Andrew Fillipponi. We're taking your phone calls tonight, 412-575-2600. We've got a jam-packed phone line, Pony, right now. We'll go out to Carl out in Uniontown. What's up, Carl?
How you doing, Rich?
Hey.
How you doing, Alan?
Hey.
Hey, I just wanted to call and talk about the Steelers for a couple of seconds, and I'll let somebody else get on there.
Okay, go ahead.
I think it doesn't matter who the quarterback is for the Steelers. It takes a team effort to beat another team. You could have the best quarterback in the NFL throwing the ball, and if you don't have cooperation, you're not going to win the game.
Hey, Carl, thanks a lot for your call. I appreciate it. I think it does matter. I want to disagree with you here. I mean, you can't just throw anyone out there, and you see it's mattering right now for the Steelers. If they had a better quarterback, I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, but if they had a better quarterback, someone that doesn't just manage a game, that can make plays, I think you would see a much more improved offense right now.
I think they have to address the position for next year. I've seen some of the things Jerry Dulac and Ed Bouchette have written, and the idea that Mason Rudolph still is number 2 on their long-term depth chart. And, Richie, I would not want to, in 2020, if Ben Roethlisberger has a setback or the elbow doesn't heal right, I wouldn't want to roll the dice with Mason Rudolph or Devlin Hodges again. I think they got to bring in a veteran backup. And there's some Ryan Fitzpatrick's going to be a free agent again. Case Keenum's going to be a free agent.
Marcus Mariota.
I think he might be a little bit too expensive. Somebody might try him as a starter. But I want to have an insurance policy in case Ben goes down for next year. And to think that Mason Rudolph is going to, he's going to get over whatever funk he fell into.
Do you think it was the end of the Browns game and what happened with Myles Garrett potentially was damning to him mentally?
Oh, I think that had a huge psychological effect. He never looked, we sat right next to each other at that game.
Yeah.
Did he look engaged like he was in that game? No. Yeah. But here's the thing. If they felt like that was just, he was caught up in the storm from that game.
Maybe they would have stuck with him.
Well, I think they would have gone back to him now, don't you?
Yeah, I think they would have. Yeah, I guess you're right. You make a good point there. All right, let's go out to Pete out in Squirrel Hill. How you doing, Pete? My man, what's up, buddy?
What's up tonight?
Hey, Pete.
Hey, Pete.
Hey, the thing about Rudolph, if you ever watch him play, his footwork is horrible. That's a fundamental deficiency. You don't come into the NFL and you fix that instantly. That's a problem. But what I'm calling about, Rich, is last night you asked Paul Zeiss if Troy was going to get into the Hall of Fame.
First ballot, right?
His response was, yeah, I think he's an absolutely a first ballot Hall of Famer. You come back and said, well, if Ed Reed got in. Rich, I don't know if you're familiar with the NFL Network specials over the past month, the 100 greatest players in NFL history.
Yeah.
Ed Reed graded out as the second best safety in NFL history behind the great Ronnie Lott. 6 made the list. Troy didn't make the list.
Well,
Ed Reed
that's
was so extraordinary as a football player. He's the only guy in NFL history to return an interception for a touchdown. He has the 2 longest in league history. Return a fumble for a touchdown, return a punt for a touchdown, and block a punt in return for a touchdown.
Pete, you all great points, of course. I love when you call. But I think they were the 2 best safeties in the game during that period. And, that's subjective what the NFL Network does.
Well, so is the Hall of Fame voting committee, though.
Yeah, if you're a nice guy, you might get in over someone that's a jerk.
Like Terrell Owens.
Or
how about Antonio Brown didn't even make the list of wide receiver finalists? That, to me, is abhorrent. I mean, look, there were, I think, 24 finalists, and of them, 12 of them played, before 1985. So there's at least half the list I never saw play firsthand. But of wide receivers that I watched, Richie, Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, and I don't think you can tell me or describe to me a wide receiver who, on the field, I'm not talking about the way that they blew up locker rooms and interacted with fans and coaches. I mean, when they were between the white lines, he's at worst the 3rd best wide receiver I've ever seen. At worst.
I would think during that time, you're
I
right.
love Larry Fitzgerald, and he got stuck with some bad quarterbacks, but Antonio Brown was better than Larry Fitzgerald.
Fantasy-wise, but do you think
on-field contributions.
What if Larry had the type of team around him like Antonio did?
Well, sometimes he did. at points in his career.
Yeah.
With Kurt Warner, and he had Anquan Bolden, and he went to Super Bowl, they did that year.
But Larry is all around a better human being, and he's
Yes.
a much better person you'd want on the team.
But is this the Hall of Nice? I mean, it's they put O.J. Simpson in, Richie. O.J. Simpson.
I just think right now Antonio Brown's rubbing everyone the wrong way, but he deserves to be on that list. If we could argue if he's third or fourth, but I would maybe put Larry Fitzgerald ahead of him. But
if you're going to have guys like Terrell Owens, Michael Irvin, Chris Carter, who were all distractions and disruptions, make the list of finalists. Antonio
even Randy
Brown
Moss
has to be
too.
there.
Yeah.
Oakland, Minnesota. He got run out of New England. He caused
Philadelphia. All right, let's go back out to the phone line. Let's go out to Josiah in San Antonio. What's up, Josiah?
Hey, Rich. Hey, Andrew.
Hey, man.
Hey.
This quick thing, I was listening to the final word on Sunday, and I heard John Steigerwald basically talking about that the Steelers need to go back to Rudolph. And my thing is this, give Hodges some rope. If he starts cutting up Sunday and throwing interceptions all over the place, you benching. But I just totally disagree with just, putting Hodges back on the bench. And secondly, I think playoff-wise, they match up a lot better against Houston compared to the Chiefs because, let's face it, the defense can't hold all the weight. And going against Kansas City is going to be a shootout, and I don't think Hodges could be able to hold up. What do you think?
Josiah, appreciate the call. First of all, we don't watch that show that you're talking about, so I don't know what he said. Secondly, I think Rudolph projects as a better quarterback in the NFL, but I really like Hodges' demeanor and his confidence that he had. It might be rattled right now.
I think he might be looking in the mirror now and figuring out he's an undrafted rookie.
Can't throw over the middle.
Me.
All his passes are to the right and left.
And Rudolph reminds me a lot of Landry Jones, where if there's any adversity or the game gets thrown off a little bit, he absolutely crumbles in those situations. And Josiah's right. I mean, Houston lost at home to Denver. So there's a chance you go there, you catch them on the right.
Well, they're not. They probably won't play Houston in the first round.
It'll probably be KC.
It'll probably be KC, and if that turns into a shootout, there's no way the Steelers win with this offense. All right, we got to take a break. Back with more of your phone calls, maybe some of your tweets coming up next. Stay right there.